Greeting cards. I've got greeting cards on my mind, and that is, of course, because of the new Sketchbook School course, Let's Make Greeting Cards. It's a 2-week online class, and it's taught by Sally Swindell, who is a specialist in designing greeting cards. And we'll be designing our own cards with our sketchbooks as our inspiration. And she'll give us professional briefings to work on. So that's really, really exciting. And the great thing about greeting cards is that they make you connect with people in a different way than when you call them or when you talk to them or send a message or whatever. Receiving a greeting card is like receiving a gift, and it can be a surprise and a very delightful one too that lands in your mailbox. For example, my mother collects greeting cards, not just the ones that she receives, but the ones that she wants to send. So ever since I remember, she has a tin box filled with greeting cards, and for every occasion there's a card in there. So whenever she comes by a shop where they sell cards, she has to go in and she'll buy 1 or 2 or more cards because she thinks they're funny or they're really suitable for a certain occasion or really suitable for a certain person. And that way she has a collection of cards that she can send whenever to whomever, and whenever something pops up, like there is a certain occasion or a certain thing that happens to someone that she loves, she'll dive into that tin box, find the perfect card and send it out. So she's always the first one to send a card for whatever occasion. And I love it. I get a lot of cards from her whenever she feels like it, just to say hi or to wish me luck, or when she knows I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, she will send me a card to wish me well. And that's wonderful. And she does that to all the people that she knows. And I think it's a fantastic way to tell people how you feel about them. And that's a special thing about greeting cards. And then there's people who collect cards that they receive. I'm not so much of a collector, but I do keep cards. Here's a card, for example, that I received from Lapin, and I really like the art, and it's a different kind of art than he usually makes, and I love the colors, and it's just pretty cool to receive a card from sort of a celebrity, you know. So I hang that on my wall as a piece of art. And here is another card that I hung because it's just art on a card, actually. This is a card by Inma Serrano. She is an artist that I really like and admire, and I learned from her this summer during a workshop. And at the end of the workshop, she drew every attendee of the workshop, and so that's me. And I think that's just really special and very personal, so it deserves a place on my wall. Then there's cards that have memories or that were sent by people who aren't there anymore. And I'm really glad that I held on to this card. It's not really a greeting card because it's a bit flimsy, but still. It was sent as a card in an envelope, and I got it from my grandmother and my grandfather in October 1981. So that's when I was 6 years old. And they basically sent this to me because I sent them a letter. I wrote them a letter, and they were thanking me for the letter and complimenting me on how well I was already writing. And I loved writing letters. I would get special paper for it and matching envelopes, and I used to write a lot of letters. I also had this correspondence with my niece because she lived all the way on the other side of the country which in the Netherlands isn't that far, but if you're a kid, it is really far. This is a piece of art by Carl Larsson, I think from Sweden. It's called Carl Larsson with the Cow. And my grandmother wrote next to it, "This is Grandpa," because my grandfather was a painting artist. And she also wrote, "This is not Grandmom," because my grandmom really wasn't a farmer or a cowgirl like that. So it's even eaten by bugs, actually. So I don't know how long this will stay. And because my grandparents aren't there anymore, this is something beautiful that still feels very alive. And I love it how they also tell me to say hi to my parents and to my brother and to thank my brother for his beautiful drawing. Those little snippets of sort of a daily exchange or a mundane exchange maybe, that's just beautiful about greeting cards and sending each other greeting cards. Now here's something, I even framed it. I love this one. This is always in my kitchen. It's been there for years. And this is a card that I received from Sally Swindell, who will be our teacher in Let's Make Greeting Cards. She did this 100 days project. And every day she would have a big stack of cards, Pantone cards. So this is the Pantone color 9041. And every day she would just make a drawing using pen and ink. And often it was food related because that's just what she does. And you could comment on her feed. She would post it on social media and you could comment. And then she would actually, at the end of the 100 days, she would send out 100 cards because she made this whole collection of cards. And she was like, well, if you've been supporting me, then I will send you one. And I was lucky enough to actually receive a card from her. And the beautiful thing is that color, I have that color all over my house. She drew fennel and orange and peppers and those and olive oil. And those are like some of my favorite flavors. I love fennel and I love making a fennel and orange salad. And this is actually the recipe for that. So, of course, what I did was find a frame for it in matching color. And now it's a very suitable piece of art in my kitchen. And I love to have an original piece of art made by Sally. And I will cherish this forever. So that is what can happen. You can really connect by making a drawing on a plain card and send it to someone. And I don't know how much thought she had put into it, sending me this particular one. But to me, it's really, really special. So that's my little card story. One about my grandparents and one about Sally, or at least the card that I got from Sally. And I'm pretty sure you have cards around your house that you love and that have a story or a memory attached to it. Now let's create some memories and let's add some emotion to and put it in an envelope. Now I can't wait to start making and sending cards to people who are special to me. Something personal in an envelope, stamped and sent. And you can join me in Let's Make Greeting Cards, the new course in Sketchbook School. So join me and sign up at sketchbookschool.com. See you in class!